In this video, we're going to look at how to use trigonometry for an application problem. In this situation, we have Spider-Man on the roof of a 40-foot building. He spots a villain on the street. His angle of depression to see the villain is 25 degrees. How far must Spider-Man sling his web to capture the villain? So in this situation, we have Spider-Man up high. And normally, Spider-Man would be looking out over the skyline like this. However, his eye is drawn down to the street to see a bad guy. So Spider-Man is up here, and instead of looking straight out, he ends up looking down. So this angle right in here is the angle of depression. I'm going to switch to a better diagram that I drew ahead of time. A little bit darker, a little bit easier to see. When you're working on problems for angle of depression, it's actually helpful to have a rectangle. So we have the location of Spider-Man up here. He is on top of the 40-foot building. And he spots a villain over here. And the angle of depression, instead of looking straight out in the sky, he's looking down 25 degrees. And we see that Spider-Man is going to throw his web or sling his web from where he is down to the villain. So this is X that we're trying to find. The rectangle in this diagram is helpful because this height of 40 feet also helps us over here in this right triangle. And now if I just focus on this triangle here that I'm shading lightly, the problem is all set up based on where Spider-Man's standing, so that's your angle. 40 is opposite Spider-Man over here. And X that I'm trying to find is the hypotenuse. So we're going to be able to look at this situation using sine. Sine of an angle is determined by doing opposite over hypotenuse. The angle of depression is 25 degrees. The opposite is that vertical height of 40, and the hypotenuse is what we're looking for. The sine of 25 can be represented by a decimal. I'm going to put a 1 underneath here so we can have a cross multiplication problem. X is being multiplied by the decimal. And over here, 40 times 1. We want X alone, so we're going to undo this multiplication. We undo it with division. That's going to isolate X. I'm going to grab a calculator and do 40 divided by the decimal. And since we're talking about a length, as we have been in this unit, we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So 94/6 feet. So that's how far Spider-Man would have to throw his web from where he is on top of the building down to the street to capture the villain.